Like, I can already feel like you guys are gonna like do cool stuff.
Into the motive.
Just being good to one another.
Yeah, you guys are doing a good thing here.
The people at the top collaborate, and the people that are at the bottom compete.
Yeah, it resulted in me shooting him.
I was charged with 109 and a 50.
Ultimately, you'll get to where you want to go if you push yourself enough.
I genuinely love this conversation.
I love the Moto Podcast.
Welcome back to the Moto Podcast. I'm your host, Leo Kosach. Alongside me is my co-host, Cole Cuccinata. And joining us today, guys, a legend in the content creation world of dirt biking, amassing almost 1.4 million YouTube subscribers and almost 200,000 subscribers on Instagram. Guys, please welcome to the podcast, ZackGoes. Zack,
Let's go, Zach.
appreciate you being
Welcome.
here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Local guy in the area, Westchester.
Very local, yeah.
Represent. I guess we'll just start. How was life growing up in Westchester? Because people don't really, around here, it's not like, it's not normal to get into dirt biking per se in the suburban Philadelphia world. But how did you get into it? How was life growing up here and all the upbringing?
Yeah, so born and raised in Westchester. Great town. Highly recommend. Had a, pretty basic suburban upbringing, stayed local, freaking swimming when I was younger.
Yeah.
A lot of different sports, baseball, football. I started riding dirt bikes when I was 15.
Okay.
I got a job at the local pizza shop, saved up my money, bought a SSR 125, and just started riding around and making videos and kind of escalated from there.
For sure.
So right off the rip, you were making videos as soon as you got the
100%. Yeah, as soon as, yeah.
Were you making videos before you got into riding too?
Yeah, I started my first YouTube channel. It was like me and my brother when I was like in 2006, 7. Like I was very early to YouTube, so.
And what were you doing then?
That was just like random weird videos. Like some of it was like a somewhat of a Fred imitation. And then just random stuff, and eventually like stopped doing that. Had a couple random YouTube channels with friends that just like never really did anything. Then I had a gaming channel that I like took seriously. I would post consistently. That's really how I learned how to edit videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I missed the gaming wave, and I wasn't very good at it either. But that prepared me for riding dirt bikes and making videos because I saw the kind of the niche of motorcycle and motovlogging specifically growing. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity because I kind of missed the gaming wave, but I saw this wave coming up, and there wasn't a young idiot riding dirt bikes around talking to himself, cursing like a sailor. So I was like kind of like my niche.
Right.
Okay.
What were you watching at the time that kind of like inspired the both the gaming side and the dirt bike side? Like you said, you started to see the wave. Was there anyone in particular that you kind of saw at first?
So gaming was like the crew: K-Wire, Speedy, Nobody Epic, Jehovah's Witness, definitely some Van Os gaming in there.
Okay.
And then the dirt bike riding or the motovlogging was Do It With Dan, Jake the Garden Snake, Motonosity. I'm gonna miss some in there. But mainly that Asubi Moto back in the day.
Okay.
He was ripping wheelies.
Yeah.
And Moto Bro too. Moto Bro. Who else? I don't want to miss anyone now. I think that was the main ones, but definitely left some out there.
For sure. So how was the dirt bike life like in Westchester? Like, did you have trouble with the neighbors? Did you have trouble with the cops? Like right off the bat, where were you riding? Like what were you doing? Like how was it growing up around here with the riding scene?
So the neighbors were pretty chill for the most part. Kind of, if there ever was a problem, looking back now, it was my fault.
Okay.
And I would say generally with anyone else that would care, I got lucky for a long time, and then by the time my luck ran out, I had a street legal bike, so I was able to just ride farther away and not bother people for long periods of time.
So before that, when you had your dirt bike, were you always into like the street wheeling thing, or did you start out, riding the woods, doing, the back trails, or was it like straight to the wheelies?
So it was always straight to the wheelies. I'd ride around my yard. I had like a backyard with a tiny little pit bike track I made back there. And I would ride around the yard and do that. But no, the first day I ever rode a motorcycle, I was trying to wheelie it. And I was trying to do burnouts on it. And I put the SSR together. It was brand new, but it came in a crate. And I put it together, and I couldn't figure out how to put the front brake caliper on. So it was literally just swinging, like hanging. So I had no front brake, but it was like, I have a dirt bike, and I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Only slows you down that front brake.
Yeah.
So what was the street legal bike? that
The
you got?
street WR250R.
Like and then were you like ripping that to school? Were you ripping that around?
Yeah, dude, I rode it to school. I was 16. I was a sophomore. And when you're 16 in Pennsylvania, you can get your driver's permit. You can also get your motorcycle permit. With your driver's permit, you got to wait 6 months to drive by yourself. With a motorcycle permit, you're not allowed to take a passenger.
Right.
So you have to ride by yourself.
Okay.
So at 16, a sophomore in high school, I was taking it to high school. And I talked to one of the office ladies, super nice. I wish I remember her name, but she rode a moped to school. And she told me, oh, like, this is always where I park my bike. It's like in the staff lot, but you're not blocking anything. It's out of the way. She was like, you park your bike there. I was like, perfect. So I parked my bike there. It was cold. It was the winter. I got the bike when it was cold out, but I was like, I'm freaking riding this thing to school. So I parked it there. And a couple people were like, yo, like they saw me walk in. I'm feeling like Mr. Cool Guy. And throughout the day, there's 8 periods. And I think it was like 6th or 7th period. And I think it was 7th period. They were like saying like they wanted to see me at the office. And I got called to the office and they were like, what are you thinking, riding a dirt bike to school? We got the police department wanting to tow it. We got the fire. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, what's the problem? They're like, you can't ride a dirt bike to school. And I'm like, it's a street legal motorcycle. It has a license plate. It's inspected. It has turn signals. Here's my permit. They're like, well, you can't park it there. That's the staff parking lot. I'm like, well, Mrs. Angel said that I could park there. And they were like, oh, well, you can't. It's a fire zone. And the fire department wanted it towed. If there's a big problem, they need that clear in case there's a fire. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then really they just wanted their money for the parking pass. So I pay the money for the parking pass. I start parking in the other one. The day after, or it was the same week, there was a huge snowstorm, 2-hour delay, and they had pushed all the snow into that exact spot.
Jeez.
Where I was parking. So now the fire lane's blocked. More so than when I was parked there. I remember walking into school and be like, that's a safety hazard. Didn't they just tell me this? And I was in the office for an unrelated reason. I don't remember why. But I remember like I was walking out on my way out. I was like, wait a second. I was like, by the way, the fire lane's blocked outside. And I don't feel safe at school, in case a fire truck has to come. Like, and I'm talking like it was like a 10, 15-foot thing of snow. And my grade administrator was like, no, Zach, that's ridiculous. They're fire trucks. They can go on top of it. I was like, no, it's really tall. You could not. A fire truck cannot go on that. And she was like, go back to class. I'm like, all right. And as I'm walking out, the fire alarm goes off.
Get out of here.
And I'm like, and I'm in the office. And everyone's like, what happened? Like, what? Like, normally when it's a drill, like, they all know. Yeah. Everyone was like, caught off guard. What happened? What happened? What happened? And thank God I was still in the office because they would have thought I just went out and pulled it. And like we go outside, and it was just like the biggest like satisfaction of like,
Screw you.
Yeah, exactly. And then the janitor like accidentally tripped it.
Oh my God.
Classic.
Yeah.
So how were like the high school years? Would you say like were you like kind of not locked in at school? Were you kind of like just riding your dirt bike around, being that kid? And how was the channel growing at that time? Like by the time you were a sophomore in high school, what was the growth like and all that?
So I started uploading. My first one was February 2015. So let me think. I was uploading consistently around my SSR 125. Probably like 10, 15 videos in, I traded it, and I got a TTR 125, which is where I kind of figured out how to wheel a little bit more. And I was uploading every other-ish day as much as I could. And my schedule would be like, wake up. Well, it really started when I got off of school. I'd go ride around for an hour or two, go into work at the pizza shop at 4 p.m., work 4 to 9 or 4 to 10, whatever it was, get home, edit the video, render it, go to sleep, wake up, upload the video, and then in homeroom, I would do the tag, title, thumbnail, everything, and then I would post at 3 p.m. My idea was like people get off of school, they go home, they watch ZackGoes. That was my idea. So that was my like rough thing. And like there were nights like I'm staying up middle of the night, like I would sleep through school. Yeah. Just because like school doesn't matter. That's not the priority. It's this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that your end goal at one point where you like, yo, I'm not doing school, I want to take this YouTube thing full time?
Yes. That was like once I got a taste of like it coming, I was like, this is an opportunity and I need to run with this.
Yeah.
For sure.
So the Miami thing, and I know we were going to talk about this later, but there was a video of you going to Miami for one of the ride outs with Cody, who we talked about off record here a little bit before this. But you left high school, right, to go and do this ride out in Miami?
Uh-huh.
And what year was that?
That had to be, I mean, I think I did that 3 years. I did that 16, or was it 17, 18-ish?
Okay. That's crazy. So you were popping off that early.
Yeah, no. Well, when I was a sophomore in high school, I bought the WR250R with YouTube money.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that was, and it wasn't like, and it was like I get a check and I just freaking like, this is all back into the videos, and that's what we're doing.
For sure.
Damn.
Yeah, I love that. So were you flying down to explain the Miami ride out scene and like the whole bike life scene down there.
Well, I mean, it's during the winter, it's cold up here. People want to go ride. MLK Day was big for a while where everyone would just come down and ride for that. And explain it, I don't know, man. I'd freaking load up and go down.
Yeah, I love it. And then how did you get into like the Philly scene? So you were starting here, and then obviously the Philly bike scene, the ride outs in Philly. How did you start kind of inching in down in the city there?
Well, I met Cody on Instagram, and we rode around locally. And then they wanted to shoot a video for B Shoe, like his like kind of promo video. So they were like, I was basically just the camera guy. I'm on my WR250R street legal with a camera guy on the back. Okay. And that was like my intro. And then I just met the guys and kept hanging out.
For sure. Do you remember the first time like you mastered a wheelie?
Mastered a wheelie. See, that's weird. It's hard to say when you did. I can think of the sensation you get when you're chasing it out, and then you just kind of start to feel like a little bit of a sweet spot, like, oh, like this, like and then it goes down again. It's like I can sense that. I mean, it was definitely on the TTR when I would feel that sensation of being at balance point, but I never really knew rear brake on the TTR. I like got a vague concept of it towards the end, but I never really mastered the wheelie until, I mean, I would say, when I say master, I mean being able to pick it up and kind of like feel pretty comfortable. I'd say on the WR250R. So that had to be on that thing, yeah.
Okay. And then you took a pretty big turn, right? You went to the two-stroke. It was a YZ125.
YZ125,
yeah.
man.
So what made you change to the two-stroke?
I think it was, I just wanted to try something different. Like, I see the people. I saw a freaking dirt bike rail, and who else was on a 125 at the time? He wasn't right. He'd been passed since then, but I'd seen all the videos of him on it, and just seeing people ride 125s around, I'm like, this is sick. Like the da 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 da. Like that was a draw for sure.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to do something different, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been wanting one for so long. Shout out Jason Borowski who told us to get you on here.
Yeah.
I was talking with him last week, and like, dude, he gave me the itch again. I like the only dirt bike I've had a go-kart my whole life, like multiple go-karts, but then I had a KLX 140L Kawasaki like 3 years ago. I got it. Cool little bike.
Yeah.
I literally had it for like 2 months, and I was like, this isn't for me. Sold it. But I want a YZ so bad. And
I bought a YZ 125 like 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I have the itch. I've been sending him like Facebook Marketplace listings, you know, the typical just back and forth, just what should I 1,600 in a case of Busch Light, just like I'm just like lowballing people. But dude, are like, do you still love them? Are they worth the hype?
Oh, 100%. The YZ 125 from 06 to 2021, it's the same bike.
Okay.
Same engine, same everything. I mean, it's different plastics, graphics through it, different colors, but like it's a very solid bike for motocross because it's lightweight, it's got good power, they're reliable. And then for doing wheelies, it's great because it's a two-stroke. When you wheelie a four-stroke, the oil go to the back, and different four-stroke motors handle it differently. And with a two-stroke, you don't have to worry about that. Oil goes in the cylinder every time you hit the gas.
Okay.
So two-strokes in general are better to wheelie for reliability's sake, but the YZ125, there's just something about it, dude. Like the way it hits, the power to weight, it just feels so right. And for a while, like people would ask me what's my favorite bike to wheelie, I'd say YZ125, and I had a YZ450. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
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 Well, you have the 250.
Yeah, I have a
right?
YZ250, and that
Two
thing's-
stroke or four?
Two-stroke.
Nice.
Feels huge though, and I can wheel it a little bit, but I've never gotten to the balance point or even comfortable.
See, it's a lot of
Getting-
power. It's heavy. It's not a good way to learn how to wheelie.
Yeah, yeah. I went from an SSR 110 to a YZ250. And it was a big change.
Genius.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm sure that it was a huge change going from 4-stroke to 2-stroke, like period. Like
I mean, I
do
don't
you
know
have
if it was a
power
huge
band?
change. I mean, it's definitely a different change. Not like it was. It's still a dirt bike, dude. It's still got
Yeah.
clutch, still got gears.
Have you ever like pulled up and then accidentally hit the power band when you're at the balance point and looped out? Like,
Have I ever accidentally hit the
or
power
like got
band?
into the power band while you're at balance point? That's what I'm nervous of, like pulling up and then like going too far back on the
So in a
balance.
YZ252 stroke, you don't need the power band to wheelie.
Yeah,
You like unless you're going really quick, you don't need it. I've definitely looped out a 2-stroke. I don't know if I've done it by accidentally hitting the power band. I know like if I get on a bike to wheelie, the first thing I do is like rev it out. Let me feel the gears out. Let me feel where the power curve is.
yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know if I've done that specifically. It sounds like you're worried about that or it's happened to you.
No, I'm worried about
Just
it.
a friend, you know?
Yeah.
Happened to my friend.
Yeah. Have you had any bad wipeouts during a ride out?
Yeah, I'd say half a dozen or so.
Yeah.
You broke your back, right?
That was fucked.
Can you tell us about that?
I mean, dude, I was riding. There was a hole in the road. Didn't see it.
Damn.
Yeah,
Just like that.
just like that.
And where was that at?
That was out west.
Like a
Yeah.
long recovery from that.
No, it was super quick. I was riding 4 weeks later.
Really?
I got lucky. I remember them telling me like you broke your back, and like I just keep like wiggling my toes, like thinking I'm gonna like lose feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
And they did a bunch of scans. Took them a while to figure anything out. And I got out and I was like an old man. I like could barely walk. It was like, you know, it took a lot just to get around, let alone stairs or anything like that. And I went to a back specialist again, and they took x-rays, and the guy comes in here. He's like, so they said you broke your back? I'm like, yeah. Okay. Do you know where? And I was like, I forget. It was like 4 or 5 different places. And he was like, all right. He's like, all right, turn around. And he's like, starts touching my back, and I'm like, it's fine. It's like, ow. He's like, all right, well, x-rays, I don't see anything. Doesn't look broken at all. And this is only like 2 weeks after or something like that. So he's like, it must have been super minor breaks. He's asking me about what scans they did. I was like, I don't know. They did a bunch of stuff. But he told me like, all right, it's just basically the muscles have to repair themselves more than anything, because it was just such minor fractures. Like if you think of a disc, there's a circle and then little wings on the top. It was just the little wings I fractured. So it was the muscles around it that were really sore that had to kind of get back to it. So I got lucky.
That's crazy.
It was a crazy moment because I broke my back, hospital, whatever. Finally get out. I wake up the next morning, and it was like definitely surreal to like, damn, like I broke my back. At the same time, they're like, my friends are like, they can't find. They're like, where's Chris? Can't find Chris. And he had passed away on the ride, and it was like to wake up and to like have a broken back, barely be able to move, but like be grateful that like it could have been worse. And it like, so that was it's just what happened. If you ride dirt bikes, you ride motorcycles, you're gonna get hurt. People pass away. It's part of everything.
Yeah,
Jeez.
for sure. Was that like tough to handle at the time, or like you said, you kind of just it gave you more of an appreciation for life?
Definitely an appreciation for life, but it's also like, dude, been doing it for a long time that these things happen. Like if you come back from a ride and all your homies are good, everyone's bikes are good, you know, everyone's free, everything's fine. That's like, oh, thank God. Because a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I want to talk about the Cboys.
Okay.
So you were I just listened to you on their podcast a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
I know you were one of their early collabs. You've known them, you know, for quite a while. What's your relationship with them like, and watching them grow, and you know the first early collabs between both of you guys?
Yeah, so I found their channel. They had to have like less than 10 or 15 videos. It was pretty early on. I think it was one of their shifter cart, and then there was one video like the life of a Cboy where they're just like on the boat. They have like a giant water slide set up, and I'm just like, dude, these guys are freaking sick. So I'm following them, I'm watching their stuff, and I messaged, I think just the Cboy account, I don't really remember, and was like, yo, like, let's make a video together. And at this time, I had more subscribers than them. I don't remember the differential, but I definitely had more. And when I was on my way, let me think. I think I just made a trip out there just to see them. I stopped in Chicago on the way. I met Brian 636. Then I went and hung with the Cboys and hung out there for like a week or so. And the first time I went up, they had, I guess it'd be the OG shop. And Micah was living in there. Bangin' was still part of the crew. And it was just like, from then, it was very like, guys had jobs, guys went to school, they were kind of in and out. Like, they're really trying to wrangle the troops to kind of do it. And I remember talking to one of them. Someone was going to drop out of college, but like was on the fence of it. And I remember them be like, I don't know, da-da-da. And I saw from the beginning the camaraderie of how well they work together. That's the recipe for a successful YouTube channel. It's consistent videos, good videos, camaraderie. So you want people to feel like they're part of the friend group. And that's not something you can just like mash people together. Like, you need characters. So it's like a movie, but it's real life. So you need characters, you need camaraderie, and they just have all this natural chemistry, great camaraderie. And for there to be 6 or 7 of them, however many, it was 6, and then they add. It's complicated. Either way, when they come together, like each of them like had a specific task. So it was like, I imagine like, what if I had 7 of me to do everything? You know, they were just the perfect conglomerate of work ethic, good team, and to see where they went from to where they are now is nuts. Every time I show up, they have a new shop.
That's insane.
You know, so it's very cool. It's very cool to watch them grow, and I'm stoked for them.
You had a bunch of collabs, right? I saw you on a video with Danny Duncan.
Yep.
How was that? That was out in LA, right? You did a
yeah. I think I did a couple with him. I met him at VidCon back in 2016, 17.
Okay.
And I just saw him at VidCon, and he was like at I'd say a couple 100,000, maybe 100,000 subscribers, still pretty early on. And I just went up and like asked for a picture, and I was wearing a ZackGoes shirt, but I hadn't revealed my face yet. So I didn't know they were filming. It was in the video. And then people were hitting me up like, oh, face reveal. And I remember I DM'd him on Twitter or whatever and was like, hey man, like, can you take this down, like, or like blur it out? And I don't think he ever did. He was kind of just like fuck that, I'm not doing that, whatever.
It sounds like him.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember how it worked out, if I met him again or not, but I ran into him in Los Angeles, kind of around VidCon, and kind of told him what I did. And he's like, oh dude, come teach me how to wheelie. So we talked back and forth, and yeah, eventually went out there to California and stayed at his crib, rode his moped around, and just fucked around and filmed.
That's crazy. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And then you did the Nelk thing too. There was
I mean, that's not a collab. I just
You
showed
was
up to their
there.
event.
Okay.
That was not a collab.
Walk us through that scene though, because I mean, I remember watching that video when it came out. It's just like they were hyping the crap out of it, just like, oh, arrested, FBI, it was crazy.
That was nuts.
What was the scenario there? I forget, but I know there was some sort of meetup.
Well, they never showed up.
Really.
That was the thing. Like they set up like a meetup in this parking lot. They had the stage, and they were hyping it up, and that was one of the wildest things I'd like. There were like just people like drinking. People were just like chucking Corona bottles like 50 feet. Like there were just bottles like dropping from the sky, and people were doing burnouts. And there was a security guard that was a little person. That was like, they had security, but it's like, is this a joke? Like I almost felt like it was like a prank.
Part of the Nelk.
It was like, what is going on here? And they never ended up showing up because it was so nuts already. The police were like, you can't show up. Like, this is inciting a riot or whatever. And I think they got arrested off of it.
Yeah.
Or got in trouble.
Fined or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I was on my dirt bike. I was pissed, dude. I was trying to, like, I wanted to at least, because they did drive around in a truck. They had to turn around. I was like, dude, if I would have pulled up next to that truck, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Guys in the back with the camera, friggin'.
Yeah.
Wheeling right there, it would have been sick.
For sure. And I know we already kind of touched on it, but can you explain like the ride out culture in Philly? Because it's always on the news. It's always like, oh, you see the culture behind it. It gets a lot of bad rap on the news. It gets I see a lot of promotional stuff online on like Instagram and stuff. But like, can you explain the culture of just getting together and ripping through like urban streets?
Yeah, it's super complicated. So basically, people who like riding dirt bikes and doing wheelies are like, let's fucking do this together, and then they do it. That's about it.
That's pretty sick. Yeah, all right, that's cool. What's the craziest thing you've seen on a ride out?
Craziest thing
You
I've
can
seen.
say on camera.
I remember one ride in one of the Carolinas. A guy ran into a tree, like whiskey throttled into a tree, and then broke his leg. And he was like in the back of the pickup truck, and his leg was like, it was just yeah.
It's nasty.
That was nuts.
It's like what we saw on the street of Westchester the other night.
How are the cops down in Philly when you guys are doing this? Because it seems like when you're in big groups, they don't mess with you too much. They usually try to pick you out.
I mean, dude, it's hot and cold. I really don't even be out there like that. Like it's been a long time, if ever.
Yeah.
So it's hot and cold. Like something happens and they're real strict, and then kind of fades away and they're chill. I hear the new governor sucks.
Yeah.
And is doing, I guess, their job. But it's hot and cold, really.
What about like stolen bikes? Is that common down there? From what, if we're allowed to talk about that?
So that's a big stereotype I hear a lot, is that all the bikes are stolen and da-da-da-da. You know, your bike gets stolen to ride in Philly. You know what those bikes are? Those guys are getting robbed by the banks. They go to the dealer, they put 0 down, and they got 20, 30% interest rates.
Yeah.
Are some of them stolen? Sure. Are some stolen at the motocross track? Sure. What's the ratio? What's more? Listen, I don't know. But I really don't like that stereotype. You know, a lot of the people I'd ride with, most of the people I ride with, it's you work hard during the week, you make money, you buy a dirt bike, you come out, you want to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, at least with my crowd, people I was hanging out with and riding with.
Okay.
So that's that. Listen, I understand the stereotype. I get it because it definitely happens. But dude, how many of those bikes at the motocross track are stolen? How many guys just got a bill of sale or no title? Like, you really don't know. If a dirt bike's old, there's a chance at some point, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good point. What's your experience been like with YouTube and like demonetization with your content?
It got worse towards the end for sure.
Okay.
And that was one of the bigger factors of why I stopped, was because you click on a ZackGoes video, I want it to be immediately action. You're hooked. You want to watch it. A lot of times that's the crazy stuff, but that's the same stuff that'll get you demonetized.
Yeah.
So I had a kind of crossroads of like, I can either change my content to be more monetized and stuff like that, or just not. And I just didn't want to stop the way I was making it. I didn't want to make it more family friendly. It was like one of the reasons I loved making videos was because the people who knew me from it were cool motherfuckers. They were people who were like, this is sick. And to like water it down and like do more, it just isn't what I wanted to do. I felt like I was a rider first and a YouTuber second.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't make sense to like, what am I gonna like just like vlog, which I did do. I made a bunch of vlogs, but it was always, I always wanted riding to be the center of it, and it's tough. People are still doing it, but it's very tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember when you first hit like 500K? Like what just to get the time frame? Like were you still in high school when you hit like 500K, stuff like that?
I think I was still in high school to hit 500K. I don't remember the timeline. I have to double check on everything. I know I hit 100,000 in school for sure, and I think I was probably 500,000 was around the time I graduated ish, give or take.
Okay.
Okay. What were people's reaction like when you were in school? What was like the vibe like? Did people just kind of know you doing your thing and running the YouTube channel, and you were just kind of okay with that, put it aside, went to school when you did, and then were out of the classroom for the rest of your time, or what was
pretty
the vibe
much
like?
Pretty much. It was like a lot of time I was focused on that. So school was very secondary. Yeah, I think my last year I had something like 40 unexcused absences.
Jeez.
Like maybe it was 30, but it was enough that they could have said like you don't graduate. I know that for sure. It was 20 was the line, so it was probably 20 or 30. And yeah, man, I mean, I come to school, I do my thing, and like I eventually people kind of caught on, but it was really just like I'm walking around the highway and it's like ZackGoes. Like a lot of Zack goes to class. Like people thought dude, 5 people thought they made that up and they fucking loved it.
That's hilarious. Walk me through like the pedal bikes. Like when did you get into that? Because I know like the one-way pedal bike thing was like a big deal. I remember it was like when I was in middle school. Yeah, all that stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm already doing wheelies on a bike, and the bicycles I saw. I mean, R&D Blocks was the first person I saw really doing it like that. My buddy Ty showed me. He's like, dude, look at this guy in New York. And we're like, dude, this is sick. Like he's like he put that. I don't want to say he put it on the map, but doing a wheelie on an SC bike, like he was the guy. Okay. And so I wanted a big ripper. I got a big ripper. Was ripping that around, just like around the house, or I mean around local roads and stuff like that. And then started going to the ride outs, and those were the videos that went crazy. I think there's 3 pedal bike videos with over 10 million views on it. That was like if I wanted to really just run the subscribers or views out, I would have just stuck to that.
Really?
Because think about it, dirt bikes are expensive to maintain them. It's higher risk. Bicycle, dude, we're on a bicycle. That's so much. But I was like, again, I was rider first. I was a dirt bike rider first, and shit kept happening at the ride outs. And my lens at the time was like, I'm out here, I'm trying to just live the craziest life I can, and I'm like kind of documenting like what's happening, the reality of situations. And like kids would get their bikes stolen, and freaking like this kid got his bike stolen, and then he got it back, and then he got it beat up and taken again. And I didn't think twice. I put it on the internet, and I definitely would not have done that today. And I think I look back at that like it's just, you got kids that live in Philly, born in Philly. It's a different way of life. You're only like, it's whatever your friends are doing is what you're doing. And it's like I'm putting kids on blast that are doing things that they don't know better of, and then I'm motivating other kids to show up and get their bikes taken, which sucked.
Yeah.
But so that, I mean, I have it a couple times, but the bicycle shit was crazy. And it's also so relatable. Like everyone can ride a bicycle. So you see us out here wheeling and just having a good time.
Were you a big I mean, I know the one video like swerving the cops and everything. I mean, that's
dude,
like that's all it is, right?
Dude, swerving is the best. Probably don't swerve anything you're not willing to hit, but
have you had close calls? Have you gotten smoked at all swerving?
I've never been smoked swerving. I mean, close calls, sure, that's kind of the goal when you're doing it, but I've never like hit a car or anything like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen people hit cars?
I don't know. I must have.
Yeah.
It's probably on the internet. I say no. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So, I mean, from what you've been saying, like, it seems like it's all kind of led up to this. Like, you've obviously been off from YouTube. And can you walk me through the process of, deciding you don't want to be on YouTube anymore, kind of backing away from that culture? And I know you just kind of explained it, like, to an extent. But what was the ultimate decision, and what did that feel like?
For a while, I had all these kind of like, I knew I couldn't ride the way I was riding forever. I knew I couldn't make the content I was making forever. And I just kind of like knew that in the back of my head. And I think I knew that I shouldn't do what I was doing, but I was like, dude, I freaking got I got people working for me. I got all these people wanting videos, and it's like you have the pressure to do it. And I just slowly, like, I thought I was lazy, man. I just wasn't doing it, and I wasn't uploading consistently. I remember being like, all right, like, I'm either going to do this or I'm not. So I was like, I went on a road trip. It was a 10,000-mile, 10-week road trip. Went Philly, Florida, Texas, Arizona, California, Cboys, back through Chicago and back. And I had all this content built up. I'm like, I'm going to 10,000 miles, 10 weeks, new video every week. And I was like, if I can't do this, then I'm done. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. This is my last ditch effort. I remember I was like 2 or 3 videos ahead when I started it, and then I got like 4 videos in, was just like, I'm not doing this. Just didn't enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And I gave it that last final shot, and then I was doing nothing for a little bit, and then I just kind of figured it out.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw. So did you? I think you were talking about on the Cboys podcast how you lost a Google Drive or a hard drive of some sort, full of like tons of videos.
That was earlier on. That was when I went to see the Cboys for the first time.
Okay.
So I lost all of it. The first time I rode with Brian 636, I lost that. I lost some Cboys stuff. I lost a bunch of stuff. So that sucked too.
That must be brutal. So mentally, as the channel grew, like, and we can rewind here, like, were you kind of riding a high all throughout high school, all of those years? Like obviously you're being fueled off of all the views, likes, clicks, all that stuff.
Oh, it was just constant. Like, it was every decision I made was to make the YouTube channel better.
Right.
And I think obviously academics suffered. I think some of my friends just suffered a little bit because like I remember my friends being like one time like, yo, dude, you don't want to hang out like unless you're filming.
Yeah.
Like unless we're filming. So I think at some point they almost felt like I just wanted them to be in the videos, which for me it was like, you're my friends. I just want to hang out, but this is funny content. Like I'm going to film it. Right. And it started off with like them being hyped with it. And then it was like kind of like weird where like they didn't totally want to do it the whole time. So it was a sacrifice to be like, everything I'm doing is to make YouTube videos and it's the goal, but that's what it takes.
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. So what have you been doing recently over the last couple of years? And as recently, like I said, over the last couple of years, because you haven't uploaded for quite some time now. And what's your life been like?
It's been good. It's been great. It's honestly been awesome. I've been, I do a handful of things. I started, like when I was just doing nothing after YouTube, I was like, I need to do something. And my buddy John worked at a restaurant. He's like, yo, come work here. They want, it's fun. I was like, all right. So I was serving waiting tables and working back at the pizza shop. And I remember one time I was pouring balsamic vinaigrette, like freaking 3 cups in a row, like shots. And I'm like, I should be fucking bartending. Like, that'd be fun. Yeah. So I just started grabbing ice for a month. I was serving, and then I was bartending pretty quick. They just threw me back there, and I've had a great time doing that. It's like I realized pretty quickly the most valuable part about bartending isn't the money; it's the people you meet. That got me a job with KSR Motorsports. So a guy came in, KSR Motorsports shirt, and I'd seen him in a few times, and I was like, hey, what is that? Like, what is that? And he was like, oh, like I put on monster truck shows. I got a monster truck. And I was like, what? Like, that's sick. He's like, yeah. And I showed him what I did, like all the wheelies and stuff. And he was like, dude, we got to get you in the shows. We'll get you driving the monster truck. I'm like, let's freaking do it. So he has a monster truck that you give rides in. There's 6 seats in the back. There's 3 in the cab. So we'll go somewhere and I help set the truck up, drive it around for a few hours, break it down, get it back in the shop. But he also does, or back in the truck, he also puts on shows. People like to compare it to Monster Jam. It's like mom and pop's Monster Jam is the way I explained it. Because he like contracts a bunch of guys with race trucks that are hitting the jumps and stuff. He'll do like freestyle motocross, all kinds of stuff. And then I'll do wheelies in the show as ZackGoes. I'll do something called like King Kong Knievel, where I dress up as a gorilla and jump bananas. And that's hilarious. And coming up this year, I don't think it's set in stone, but I think I'm going to be wheeling through a wall of fire.
Oh.
So that's like kind of like the next. That's like my like still keeping my toe in the water. Like I can't stay away from the bikes. I don't say I'm trying to, but I just can't stay away. It's just like things just happen. Yeah. It's like, oh, now I'm on tour. So
for sure. I feel like I've been to one of those shows like a while ago.
I just started just past year, really.
Yeah. Where are they held? Where's the main spot? There's
a couple different spots. I'd have to check the tour dates. The biggest show we did last year was up in Vermont, Essex Junction. It's like one of the biggest fairs of the whole, like on the East Coast. Okay. And it's like, I think it's 5,000 people or something like that. And yeah.
That's sick. During the growth of the YouTube channel and your riding, did you think you could ever like take it professionally, like as a rider?
Yeah,
like,
that was the goal.
Really?
I wanted to be in the X Games.
Okay.
Like doing like wheelies.
Yeah.
Which I knew didn't even exist yet, but it was like when I do something, I like doing it to the best of my ability. So if I'm being a YouTuber, I want to be this YouTuber, the best rider. So I'm like, I want to be the best rider, the best content creator, the best this, and that's a lot to ask for.
Right. Did you try to reach out to them or anyone like that from X
No,
Games?
here's the thing. I think I knew I was never one of the top guys at a ride. Like there was always someone. So it was like in my head, it's like I need to get to that point, and then I need to, like, basically I was getting ready for a competition that didn't exist yet, and I felt like I needed to get to the point where I had the skill level to do it, and I had to get to the point where I could help push the competition, because I'm getting all these views and subscribers and stuff. I'm like, this is a help. This is a push for bike life. This is a push for this to become a legitimate sport and people be able to make money and make a living doing it legitimately. And that was one of the things that drove me.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, looking back on it now, like as present day 2025, like how has YouTube evolved in your eyes? Like obviously it's a totally different game. You said like as it went on, monetization got harder, they got stricter. Like what's your outlook on it now?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. YouTube, owned by Google, they want to make money. The way they make money, they sell ads. When Tide wants to pump a bunch of money so people buy more Tide, they don't want to sponsor something that is controversial, something that could make them look bad. So I understand. They want to place the ads properly where they should be. That's just what it is, man. It's like, it's a company, it's a corporation, they want to make money, and it makes sense.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
we had it lucky for quite a few years.
yeah, without a doubt. Were you ever a three-wheeler guy?
I owned a three-wheeler. I never posted anything about it. It was like a piece of shit. Got it for like $500. Never even rode right. I actually dropped it off at someone's house to get it fixed, and then like just never got it back. The guy worked at like the local bike shop, and I dropped it off at the bike shop actually. And like they were like, "Fuck this! Like we're gonna have him working on it. It's a better deal." I'm like, "Cool." And then he just like stopped coming to work, and thing was a piece anyway. I didn't need it. No, three-wheelers. Oh, I rode the Cboys three-wheeler. Ben's. He had a CRF, I think it was a 450.
Yeah.
And that thing was nuts to wheelie.
So is that just like a conversion kit?
Yeah, it's a conversion kit, correct.
Yeah, those look sick. They look dangerous.
It's crazy to wheelie because you have the stability of a four-wheeler, but the front end is so light it just comes right up. You feel like you could do anything. As long as you have the tire pressure set and the thing goes straight, you could do like anything on it.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
So looking back on it, like now you've been out of it for a couple years, do you have like one takeaway, looking back at all those golden years of the content you filmed?
Do I have a takeaway?
I know it's a big question.
I think the most valuable thing I learned was how to be with all different kinds of people. Like I can walk into almost any room and feel comfortable with who I am and feel like I could talk to anyone and show them the proper respect, and just kind of like, I don't know, just like anyone walks in, I can just be like, "What's up?" In whatever way makes sense. If that makes sense.
No, I love that.
It does. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, even through this, like, which is we're still building. Like, I just feel like I've met and been able to network and learn how to talk with so many more new people. So what's the future look like? I know you were telling us some stuff off camera, but anything else that you feel free to say that you're looking forward?
Yeah, man, I'm like super excited to be on tour with KSR Motorsports this next year. I'll post like the tour dates once they're official. They're locked in. Freaking doing wheelies through a wall of fire is like gonna be. Come on, like that's sick. I'm super excited for that. And then I got something else I'm working on. I'm in, I'll say, a form of education to do something professionally, and I'm excited about that. Just kind of keep working, leveling up, getting higher, and one day I'll talk about it or not. So
yeah, I love it. I think that's a great place to wrap it up.
Thank you.
ZackGoes.
One more thing. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, of course.
If you had one more piece of advice for us trying to grow this,
it's a good one.
What would you say?
Grow this, or in general, life advice.
Like if you were to go back, what would you change?
So what I'm curious of is, I don't know what's going on here. Like, so it's the Motive podcast, right? It's about like motivating.
Yeah.
And then also, is the goal to motivate people to go out and drink? Because it's like you have the Motive podcast, and then it's you guys like in Westchester, like interviewing drunk people.
Those are our networking events.
Yeah, those are professional networking events. Yeah.
It looks like you're on the side of the street, on the sidewalk.
Yeah. I talked about this. We had an internal episode. Yeah, the Motive has looked different the past few months, without a doubt. So like this started as like, I'd say the goal of the podcast is to have good people on from all walks of life to tell interesting stories. That could be motivating. That could be just fascinating, whatever that may be. That's how it started. That's what the podcast is still about. However, through the Westchester stuff, the street interviews, we stepped in the street interview space. Like we didn't do it consistently, but we did it like last year. Like we've done it for like over a year, almost 2 years now, but not consistently.
Okay. And
it's like we always had a good time doing it. It was great to like shake hands and meet people and tell us about the podcast. It was good for marketing the podcast. And then now I'm in college now. And
what year are you?
I'm a freshman.
How old are you?
18.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I've been doing this for 3 years now, and now I'm in college. We're just like, let's do the street interview stuff. We had like some good interviews pop off quick, got us followers, and I'm like, listen, if this is gonna get the views and people are gonna give us the follows for it, I'm all for it. We have fun doing it. We get to meet a lot of people. So that's what it's been about. And yeah, there's a lot of dumb street interview content that now the Motive name shares. So
yeah. Here's the thing. I was a little confused because I think that's how I found you guys. I think it was some kind of street interview or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is Westchester. I'm like, oh, I'll follow them, support. And then you guys hit me up to come on the podcast, and I told my girlfriend, I'm like, yeah, I'm going on this podcast, and she's like, what is it? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I know it's called the Motive Pod, and a couple days ago, I was like, here's the account. She's like, yeah, I saw that. She's like, so what are you doing? Because she went on the account and was like, what are you doing? Like, and I was like, no. And I go on like Jason's or like the clips you served Jason. Like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So my question would be for you guys, what is best case scenario for the Motive podcast and the Instagram, everything?
Best case scenario is to make it profitable enough to drop out of school and do this full time. Whether that's if the street interview stuff allows us to do that, I'm all for that. If the podcast allows us to do it, I'm all for that. But I want to keep the podcast going too, because we have fun. It's great interviewing drunk people on the street, but this is where the passion came from, and talking to people and meeting cool people and having civilized conversations. So yeah, I mean, that's the best case scenario, to have the biggest content media, and we want to brand it more than this. Like, so Cole,
that's what I was
Cole has a run club in Westchester, so now we're gonna rebrand that to like Motive Run, get college kids out to that. Like, I want the Motive to be like a full send brand to Nelk. Like, I want every
send,
like I want
like kind of a not a very niche thing. It's kind of
a more like being a healthy lifestyle
with balanced, healthy lifestyle.
Balance.
Sure.
Healthy lifestyle, but we get hammered.
Sure.
I'm trying. Let me, because I had a couple questions about it. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say my biggest piece of advice is you want to grow at a stable rate. You want to grow nice, slow, and stable. If you have a crazy, insane jump, it's hard to keep that momentum going.
Yeah.
So when I was growing, it was like pretty like very slow and consistently. It was like Burger King video like spiked up. Basically, I would upload consistently, and when you have a video that did better than the others, that would take your like consistent views and like bump it up a notch.
Yeah.
And then another video and bump it up, and then and it's like, but you want a good consistent piece of like video feed, or like a good consistent, like if someone's subscribed and they're watching all your stuff, you want them to count on you. You want them to be pleased by your consistent content, and you want them to feel like they're part of the journey. So I would be careful about doing a bunch of random stuff. Like, you do the Motive Pod, and then you're doing drunk street interviews, and now we're at a run club. Like, you want it to have a cohesive brand. You want people to be able to explain what you are in a brief sentence or two. Like, oh, they're X, Y, and Z, instead of like, oh, they do this, they do that, and they do that. And I would try it. Like, it's I mean, dude, it's cheap views and content. You go out to Westchester and you interview people. Like, it's easy. All you need is someone to say something super dumb.
Yeah.
Or like, it's easy, and I understand. I would try to, because I haven't watched a ton of it. What do you have, like, specific questions? Do you try to steer it in a certain way, or is it just
no?
Or are you doing like, what's your body count?
No, we don't go that crazy. But,
okay.
I mean, yeah, we definitely try to poke the bear in that, and that's, like I said, that's as of recent.
What bear are you poking? Like, what are your questions? Do you got a list?
Biggest red flag in a girl. Biggest red flag in a guy.
Okay, yeah.
Like, just We don't. If they want to take it that far with the body count, then it can go there through that question. But
I
that's not
got
like
you.
the craziest question.
I would try to make it a new take because there's a ton of people
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Do it. Make it like almost act like you're interviewing them because they are super successful and they're someone you look up to.
Yeah.
Like because they're drunk, they're on the side of the street, but like ask them like, so like what has been one of the biggest factors in your success in life? Because like make it like
I like
the
that.
motive pod, make it the brand, but you also get the crazy factor where it's like, like I think that'd be really funny. Or like
Great
I like
idea.
it.
That's a great idea.
because you can do because here's the thing, there's a ton of people doing drunk interviews on the side of the street, and you can be successful doing it, but if that's not the brand that you want, then you gotta like in anything you do on the internet, you need to be yourself and you need to be a niche within a niche. You need to have like a specific identity. I think being like a motivating drunk interviewer is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a good concept.
Yeah. I like it.
I love
I'm gonna
that.
think about that
I
one.
love that.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
ZackGoes, I appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Moto Podcast signing off. See you next week. Peace.